Hey guys, Andrew Ferebee here, founder of Knowledge for Men, and in this video here, I'm going to be talking about how I built a multiple six-figure coaching business in less than 2 years without losing my mind or selling my soul. And so this article is a little bit different because I'm talking about business. I'm really talking about how I built my business and what I learned. Okay, so a lot of people over the months and years have been asking me, how did you build a multiple six-figure coaching business relatively quickly with no experience doing this, no business experience, no business really doing any of this? And I was able to do that. So if you're thinking that this is something that you can't do, but it's something that you would like to do, I want to share with you guys my story and the lessons I learned on my journey to help you build a successful coaching business, okay? So if you click the link below, inside the description, you'll see that there is a link to an article. And so I'm actually going to be referencing an article that I read. It's a long article, okay? It's more of a guide on how to build this business and things that you need to know. So go ahead and click that, go into the description, click that link, and you can follow along through. So I'm going to ask you a series of 4 questions, and I want you to answer them honestly, okay? Have you ever wanted people from all over the world to travel to hear you speak, to share your message at a live event? Have you ever wanted to write a book about something that you were passionate about and make a passive income from it? Have you ever wanted to create an online course and make more money in a month than most make in a year? How about working one-on-one for a very high ticket amount with a select few of high achieving clients that excite you? Just a few years ago, I would have said yes to each of those things. I desperately wanted to have my own business and a global brand. My story. I come from a small town in Southern California. I wasn't a great student. My grades were average at best growing up. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had no purpose, aka I was a leaf in the wind. So like any man without a purpose, I spent most of my 20s wandering through life trying to satisfy my lack of direction with alcohol, drugs, and sex. As I took full advantage of these pleasures, I noticed that the men around me dealt with these same issues, a lack of purpose and lack of vision. I was the average of the 5 people that I surrounded myself with, yet I was the worst of the 5. During those years, I enjoyed personal development books and seminars, so I dabbled in a coaching business, but I never went all in. It's a key point. There's an old story of a Spanish conquistador named Hernan Cortez who, once he made landfall in an uncharted region of what is now Mexico, he ordered his men to burn all of his ships so his men couldn't return home. There was no going back. It was the ultimate sign of commitment to purpose. He wanted to build and expand his empire, the Spanish Empire. That was not me. I was not there yet, not even close. It was just a distant dream that I would think about before falling asleep at night. So acknowledging my own weakness. Then 2 years ago, I hit my all-time low. You see, I went to the bank to withdraw $20 to go out and hang out with some friends, but the ATM said insufficient funds. I was flat broke. I was empty, deeply unsatisfied. I was the epitome of the man that I never wanted to become, and I knew that I was becoming the man that my family could not be proud of. That dark night, I laid in bed in agony. I knew I had to make a difficult choice. If my life was going to change, I needed to burn my ships. For hours, I wrestled with 2 questions. Am I going to quit or am I going to make this happen? At 1:30 a.m., I made a full commitment to my business that I was not going to give up, that I was going to do this. I burned my ships. I was ready to discover what I was put on this earth to do. Looking back, that night became the defining moment of my 20s, taking action. The very next day, I applied for 3 credit cards to give myself time to build my business, a runway, if you will. I used that money to invest in books, as you can see, online courses and seminars around the country. When I sat down every morning on my computer, I went to war. This business was going to be built and I was going to give it my everything. For 2 years, I did 3 things relentlessly. I took action. I was consistent with my actions. I learned from those who had the results that I wanted. That's it. I know you're hoping for more, but that's really what I was doing. Every morning I woke up, I was focused on maximizing my investment of my time and money. I didn't want to waste a single day or dollar of anything that I was investing in. Where I am now. Fast forward to today, I have 3 books on Amazon selling hundreds of copies per month. My podcast, Knowledge for Men, has over 3 million downloads. I sell high-end courses online daily. I speak on stages around the country sharing my story and lessons learned on my journey. I'm running a 6-figure coaching business serving men at an elite level. Enough about me, okay? Because this is really about you. Building your coaching business. Every day, a ridiculous amount of online articles and social media posts tell you to do this and that, but the people preaching their message have weak results, if any at all. It's really getting ridiculous. I think you can agree. For your sake, I decided to give you for free what others try and sell you. And I've made it very simple. You won't need to spend thousands of dollars and travel all around the country and have to sit next to a mother breastfeeding her child on an airplane, true story, to get this incredible wealth of knowledge that I'm about to share with you here. But what I'm going to share isn't about pushing some idea or philosophy on you. Other people have tried that and I'm not interested in it. No, I want to unlock the power that's already in you. Seth Godin said it best. You are more powerful than you think you are. Act accordingly. I've learned that when we live in our power, we become free. So roll up your fucking sleeves and let me show you the way. These are the steps that you need to take to build your own successful coaching business. Number one, find your niche. Your niche is the audience that you are going to serve. Here's a few examples of some niches: dating coaching, relationship coaching, business coaching, leadership, career, life, nutrition coaching, personal training, productivity coaching, real estate coaching, spirituality coaching. These are just a few of the many available niches to you. So to find your niche, you'll want to ask yourself these questions and be brutally honest in your answers. What do you enjoy already doing? What could you see yourself happily doing for another 3 to 5 years? What topics do you find yourself researching in your spare time? What books and conversations do you enjoy having most? What do you do in your spare time that really makes you come alive? For me, it was personal development. It was success, personal growth. It was dating and relationship advice geared towards men. As you can see, that's pretty much what all of the books are behind me. Since I was personally interested in my niche already, I knew a lot of the ins and outs. I knew who the key characters, I knew who the key players and influencers were already in my space. I knew what books I should already be reading and what events I should be attending. Oftentimes, your audience is people who are experiencing and overcoming the challenges that you've already experienced and overcome, or are actively trying to overcome yourself. So you are actively in the story itself. You might read that certain niches are more profitable than others. Never let that guide you. To succeed, you need to stick to the topics that you enjoy, because that's what's ultimately going to dictate if you're still around 3 to 5 years from now. I can't tell you how many people get started and then they just quit. Once you lose interest in your niche, it's really difficult to keep going and break through those tedious plateaus that will often occur in this industry. When you have your niche dialed in, or at least an idea of where you want to go, move on to number 2. Find out what problems your niche has. Like I said earlier, this is about you. You bring your own unique power and perspective to your coaching career because you have a personal mix of wisdom and experiences that you can bring solutions to problems that people face in your niche. To solve these problems, ask yourself the following questions. What are the complaints and challenges that this niche has? What solutions are people looking for or that they need? What common questions exist in this niche that you have answers to? And what are the questions that people should be asking inside this niche? For instance, a few problems that men experience are being single but wanting to be in a relationship, being in a relationship but they know they are settling out of scarcity, struggling with depression as they work through a serious breakup or divorce, trying to escape their addiction to porn or alcohol or drugs, unsure about their purpose and mission in life, which is very masculine. I've dealt with all of these problems and I had to work to find solutions. So once I solved them for myself, I could figure out ways to help my audience solve their problems too. Number 3, solve people's problems. Do you remember the power and freedom you felt when you worked through your personal and professional problems? You have the ability to offer that triumph to other people, but you have to provide solutions in an effective way. You want to focus on solving these problems in modalities that bring out the best in you. Blogging, podcasting, YouTubing, just like this video. As your following on each of these platforms grows, you can start to build your coaching business by converting them into paid opportunities. For example, start out by writing blog posts and then grow into publishing books. Produce quality podcast episodes that transition into live speaking engagements, create YouTube videos that lead to online video courses and live events, and you can turn all of these into working with your clients one-on-one. Building your business is important, but remember, you have to do what you enjoy. The main thing that either makes or breaks an influencer is consistency and being able to still do it 1, 3, 5 years from now and beyond. You don't want to be that guy who burns out and leaves their audience behind. Once you've mastered the creation of powerful free content that solves your audience's problems in your niche, share it on your social media channels to boost traffic to your site. More people will then share your content on social media, and this will help you rank your content in Google, so you'll get a constant stream of free traffic every day from people who are actually searching for information about your niche. Now let's go deeper into the next step. Number 4, master the art of generating traffic, converting traffic, and over-delivering on your promises. If what you're doing today doesn't involve those 3 things, you're probably wasting your time. Remember, this is all about burning your ships and living out your power. You've got to go all out. If you don't, you'll be stuck in the day job you probably hate, and your audience won't be getting the solutions that they really need. Generating traffic. The main traffic platforms that are really crushing it are publishing blog posts, creating podcasts and sharing it on iTunes, and creating video content on YouTube just like this. Aside from creating content, you can also get really good traffic from Facebook or Google advertising, which is paid, and your social media following. A lot of my business is built around people sharing my free content on their own social media pages. It's a very subtle way to get traffic, but it's extremely powerful in generating consistent free traffic to your website. So don't overlook that at all. You can do just one of these traffic platforms, okay? You don't have to be a blogger, a podcaster, or a YouTuber. You can just do one, as that's what most people do. So don't feel like you have to do all of these if you're feeling overwhelmed. You want to pick the platform that you would be most excited about doing in the long term, but don't forget about the other channels. If all this seems like a lot of work, it is, but I'm going to share with you a hack that makes my life a lot easier. Repurposing content, the key to create content that generates traffic everywhere. I'm big on this one. You create content once, and then you put that same content on other platforms. Repurposing content allows you to multiply your marketing efforts so you can reach more people and make a bigger impact in less time. So let me explain. I have my main system for generating traffic. That's my podcast, Knowledge for Men podcast on iTunes, since I enjoy that the most. I don't want to also, though, ignore the fact that millions of people enjoy reading blog posts and watching YouTube videos just because I like to podcast. So I podcast twice a week, and I turn those audio episodes into blog posts on the knowledgeformen.com blog, and then into videos on YouTube. As you can see, just look around on my Knowledge for Men channel. And just for the record, I've never had one person say, hey, screw you. It's the same content on your blog as it is on your podcast or as it is on your YouTube channel. Believe it or not, people actually appreciate you offering different modalities. So repurposing content is actually pretty easy. You can find great freelancers on Upwork.com who can transcribe podcasts into blogs or convert them into YouTube videos and vice versa. So now it's time to do something with this traffic. Converting traffic. You've got tons of traffic, but now you need to collect email addresses from your readers and listeners. It's time to use something called a lead magnet, which is basically a free mini product you offer your followers in exchange for their name, email address, and in some cases their phone number. I like to use video trainings because it leads someone into your way of thinking, brand, and mission. It's visual, it's auditory, so the viewer can really connect and get closer to the influencer, just like we're doing right now. However, not everyone has the time for video content. Sometimes just offering a valuable PDF, exclusive newsletter with great niche content, or a trial of your main offer can get the job done. The key with lead magnets is to actually deliver real value. You want to leave a good impression. A bad lead magnet is like a bad first date. No one will want to come back for more if the first date is horrendous. Here are some examples of effective lead magnets. If you go to the actual blog post, you can see the actual lead magnet, but David D'Angelo does lead magnets. He was a big dating company, $25 million company at its peak, 3-time New York Times bestseller. Tim Ferriss does lead magnets. Billionaire company Salesforce does lead magnets. And 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton wanted your email address too. So as you can see, lead magnets are used across all different types of industries, which shows they are very effective. And please know that you can always change your lead magnet at any time. I've gone through over a dozen of them over time, so you're not stuck to one lead magnet for the rest of your business, especially if it's not converting that well. So now I'm sure you're wondering how to reach your community. Don't forget the basics. You're offering your niche something powerful and unique, something anchored in the core of your being. They're looking to you for power and freedom, so you have to deliver. Once you've generated traffic and converted it, you have to continue offering real value through your content. That's what this business is all about. Valuable content that helps your community grow, make progress, and achieve stellar results in their lives. That's it. The free content you use as a lead magnet has to be amazing. It doesn't have to be all your best stuff, but needs to be so good that your community wants more, and at some point down the line, take the next steps in the relationship with you. More on that in a minute. If your lead magnet is a success, and I think it will be, you'll have a big email list you need to use to your and their advantage. Your email list. Your email list is your community who will be your biggest fans, promoters, and people who share your content on social media and offline via word of mouth, bringing you more people to your website and your awesome lead magnet, thus growing your entire community. Without an email list, you're going to be struggling because you won't have a consistent community to grow your business with. So you want to maintain a steady stream of free, valuable content and lead magnets to build that email list. This sounds like a lot of work, I know, and you're probably thinking about how you're going to make money when all you're doing is creating free content. So I have to be real right here because this is where most businesses get it all wrong. I used to be a dating coach, so I'm going to put this to you in terms of dating. Most businesses try to have one-night stands with their audience instead of dating them and then getting a bit intimate later. Aside from that one time in Vegas, you wouldn't ask a girl to marry you on the first date, would you? You have to date, get to know each other, build trust, and all this takes time. And if you do this correctly, the woman will be more than ready to move to the next step in the relationship, whatever that might be. Build trust over time. In business, you build trust by consistently adding real value to your community's lives first, which leaves your community thinking, well, shit, if this is his free stuff and it's awesome, what does his paid stuff look like? Then and only then can you pop the big question. Hey, thank you guys for supporting me all this time. For those of you who would like to go deeper with me, I have programs and services available that can help you get X, Y, and Z results. Are you interested? That simple. If you've been adding value and building trust with your community, the majority of your community will be interested in your offer. Not all of them will buy, but you'll have enough that do buy that you're going to be in business. At this point, you'll build up so much trust, your community is ready for a long-term relationship with you. What you'll sell and how you price it. So now that you've got this whole dating analogy understood, I'm sure you're wondering, what do you offer as a coach or online influencer, right? So I'll make this super easy by breaking this down into 3 tiers with standard industry pricing. Low end, okay? So on the low end, you have books for $10. You have mini courses for $47 to $297. That's your low end. And so your middle end is going to consist of live events anywhere from $97 to $2,000. You have courses, online courses anywhere from $300 to $2,000. And then you have group coaching anywhere from $500 to $10,000. Okay, so that's your middle end. And then now your high end is going to consist of speaking engagements where you're speaking at other people's stages, at their events, and you can charge anywhere from $2,500 to $25,000. A mastermind group anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, and then one-on coaching with you, which is going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. And note that roughly 10% of your sales is actually going to come from that lower end, and then 40% is going to come from that middle end, and then 50% comes from the high end. But it's important to know that people who buy your low and middle end programs are the same people who buy your high end programs. So don't discount the lower and middle end tiers and just try and go straight for the high end. Okay, so you want to work them up each level, and each level should have what I call an ascending value ladder. So that means you start low, which is like your book, for example, and then you might have a course for $500, and then you might do one-on-one coaching for $5,000. With this funnel right here, you can make 6 figures. A book for $10, a course for $500, it's an online course, one-on-one coaching for $5,000. That's absolutely achievable. Honestly, selling the book and the online course is mostly passive, so really you're just having to work with awesome people at the high level just a few times a week. Is that okay with you? When you're first starting out, your prices are probably going to be much lower than what I just shared due to lack of experience, but as you grow and develop, you can just raise your prices accordingly. Start with one-on-one coaching sessions first, so start at the top down, okay, and then go to online courses and then write that book. So it's a reverse value ladder. But it works best when you're starting out because you get larger sums of cash and you learn so much from your one-on-one coaching clients, which will make creating the course and the book easier down the line. Okay, so start with coaching and then create the online course and then create the book. I know those prices might seem absurd. I gave some really high price points when you're starting out, but yes, that's what you can realistically make in this industry. I've paid those prices myself and have been happy. Remember, as long as you're interested in your niche and you're an expert in overcoming the problems in your niche, you have something to offer. Over-deliver on your promises for real results and transformation, and your prices are fully justified. Here's the big hurdle. Would you pay $10,000 to make $100,000? Of course you would. But what's crazy is you get to make that $100,000 the following year, over and over again. The return on investment keeps coming back to you, so it's really an easy choice. But let's say it wasn't about making money or building a business. And would you pay, let's say, $5,000 to find the woman of your dreams, to solve a chronic, painful health issue, to quit smoking, to quit doing drugs, to lose 50 pounds? Not everyone would, but enough would that you could build a 6 or 7 figure business doing that. You get the whole idea. So now that you know what to sell to your community, you might be thinking, how often should I sell my content? So you have two types of selling models that you can choose from: evergreen and launch. The evergreen model is where you sell all the time, which means your offers are always live and available for your audience. The pro is that people can always buy your stuff and you'll make consistent sales. The con is that people can always say, I'll try it later when the time is right or when I have more money, because they know it's being offered again in the future, so they can easily delay the sale. The launch model, on the other hand, is where you can run heavy promotions via email, social media, paid advertising, and joint ventures, which is basically just other influencers promoting your launch, about your offer for 1 to 3 weeks. Then you close it down. This will yield a high level of sales in a very short amount of time because of scarcity. The offer is going away soon, so they want to take action if they want it. Have you ever played hard to get with a girl that you liked, then she couldn't stop chasing you, or vice versa? Yeah, that's scarcity right there in full effect. People want what they cannot have, and it works the same way in business too. So which method is best for you, you're probably wondering. I recommend you actually do a combination of both. Have a few low-end products that are always available for consistent sales, and use launches to drive big sales for middle and high-end programs, maybe once, twice, or 4 times a year at most. Whichever method you choose, continue to create free, valuable content and nurturing your community, and they'll be happy that you made something for them when you launch it. Don't overdo these launches now. You cannot launch to your audience a new product every single month or week, because you're going to burn your email list, which means they'll stop opening your emails and unsubscribe from you because you're constantly asking them to buy. You are a taker instead of a giver. It's like asking a girl to have sex with her, but you never go out with her, you never talk to her, you don't listen to her, you're not vulnerable with her, you're not present with her. She's eventually going to leave, as she should. So you want to nurture your audience, and you'll enjoy a healthy, loyal following. Act selfishly and you'll lose your audience forever, and it'll be hard to get back in the game. And so now, over-delivering on your promise. Quality is key. Your product should be 10 times the value of someone's time and money. If they are not, then you shouldn't sell it. Don't even bother. Deliver an amazing product is the core of your coaching business. Your people want to maximize their power, success, and influence. It's who they are, or whatever your niche wants. If you're doing that in a way that goes beyond your community expectations, you're changing the world, and you'll be very successful in this space. From the business side of things, over-delivering reduces refunds and keeps your customers happy and excited for your next product or service, whatever that might be. So don't skip on your products and customer service if you plan to do this as a career and do this 5 years, 10 years from now. If your customers have valid complaints, then listen and execute as soon as possible to make your products and services better. I know this is a lot to take in, so let me break this down for you. The overall goal here is to add real value to people consistently, then create programs and services that you charge for. If you've been adding great value to people, a good portion of them will want to buy from you when you have something available for them. They know you, they like you, they trust you. It's like how women prefer to date men they know, like, and trust too. In the big picture, the principle of a trust-based relationship is what separates bad coaches from good ones. The bad coach tries to do one-night stands with his clients and get sales very quickly, and often under-delivers on the product and service side. The good coach dates his community and offers great value consistently, making him or her a leading authority in their eyes, which make his or her community want to buy from him. This is how you create raving fans, like waiting in line for a Star Wars movie, like wearing a Stormtrooper or Chewbacca costume. Okay, so just a quick review. Honestly, this whole industry can be summed up as: number 1, generate traffic, solve problems for your community with free valuable content. Number 2, convert traffic, make offers to people who know, like, and trust you. Number 3, over-deliver on promise. Okay, deliver products and services that would multiply the value of someone's money and time by 10. Okay, that's the model I've used to build a 6-figure coaching business. Right there in those 3 steps, you now have it. Don't be afraid to sell your stuff. You have something to offer that can help someone get out of pain and frustration. You've tapped into a level of personal strength and power that you need to share with other people. Why are you holding that back? Other people want what you have. And here's the best part. They really want it. They want to get out of pain. They're searching after the same things you were before you changed your life. They want you to offer them your wisdom and experience. Now, if you don't make those offers, they'll go to someone else who will solve their problems. It's like if you date a girl for too long without asking her to be your girlfriend. Eventually, she will lose interest and go with another man who will go deeper with her. No pun intended. Your community wants to go deeper with you too, beyond your free content, even though it's really valuable, in the form of your products and services. AKA, they want to get closer to you. So get over your personal issues about selling. What's holding you back from the freedom that you want? Okay, by now I hope I've simplified something that was once very confusing to me. I hope I've showed you exactly how this influencer industry works so that you can go out there and build a successful coaching business. But honestly, there's one thing that's going to shock you, but it doesn't shock me at all. Most of you won't do anything with what I've outlined here, no matter how powerful it is or how many thousands of dollars I spent to learn it. I could easily end this post right now, but I think it's necessary to call out the people who will go back to their lives after reading this and won't make any changes or take any action at all. It's time to give you that one last huge dose of a reality check. Are you ready? A lot of people won't do anything with this because you're afraid. Good. You'll find the most growth where there is the most fear. This is a journey that will transform you into the strongest version of yourself. I promise it's a ton of fun and will be one of the best chapters in your life story. You won't ever regret having built a business that fuels your lifestyle and impacts other people. You won't lay on your deathbed and think, damn, I wasted my life impacting people and living the level of life that I've always wanted. Said no one ever. You think I'm a BS liar? You are entitled to your own opinion. You definitely are. Hey, I worked for 18 months, 80 hours a week without making a dime, and I spent my entire life savings and checkings and savings to learn everything that I just shared with you for free. How many people do you know who've done that? You don't have the time. Huh? You can't find the time to achieve financial freedom and make a massive impact, but you can spend hours a day watching that latest Netflix season or stalking that girl on Instagram or Snapchat? If your dreams aren't number one on your list of priorities, then I'm curious to see what actually is number one on your list of priorities. You may have some serious obligations going on, but you can still clock in and build this baby by putting in a few hours a day, 7 days a week, or a few days a week. You can have it all if you work hard enough for it. Others have had it worse off than you who are able to do it and get it done, which means so can you. You're lazy. Laziness is what happens when you've been doing things that drain you rather than things that fuel you. What I've described in this post is about power, energy, momentum, impact, and being able to live a great lifestyle for yourself in doing so. Once you take your first step, you'll feel that laziness drain away. When you do something that you enjoy and get paid for it, it changes everything. So I recommend finding a community of like-minded people committed to the same goal to hold you accountable. You don't have to do this alone. I know what it's like. I've taken the steps, so let's take the first one together. You're scared of the financial investment ahead. Too many people try to hoard their income instead of investing their money to grow their business on a consistent basis. Building a successful coaching business is about investment in knowledge and taking action on that knowledge. Don't try and cheap out and try to learn all this on your own. Invest in books, programs, online courses, coaching, mastermind groups. They'll shorten your learning curve and save you money and time in the long run. Do you want to walk across the country or fly first class with a fun group of people on a plane sipping on insert beverage of choice with your feet in the air? Okay, that's what investing in a solid program is like. Yeah, it does cost money, but you get to your destination and you have fun getting there. You hate sales. Understand this. Selling is human. Put a people together and eventually someone will be selling you on their religion, their ideologies, their methods, their philosophies. I've learned that in life. You're either selling or you're being sold to. So you might as well be selling your program and helping people out. Selling is a learnable and improvable skill just like anything else. Without selling, your business is just a hobby. You're not good at creating content. You have the life experience to share with others. It's up to you to figure out now how to do that. It might be writing blog posts, doing YouTube videos, or running a podcast on iTunes. Whatever it is, you can learn and improve in anything. Teenagers are getting millions of views on YouTube for mindless content. If they can do that, then you can certainly do well with real life-changing content. When I tell people that you need to write blog posts and they say, hey, I'm not good at writing, really? I mean, what you're really saying is, I've just never done this before. I never put in the time to learn this skill set. Nobody is good at anything the first time they try it. So give yourself the time to get better. Keep learning, keep creating content, keep moving forward. You're not consistent enough. Don't tell me you're the kind of person who moves on if they can't master a certain skill in a certain amount of time. That's like planting a seed and watering it and then being pissed off it's not bearing fruit the next week. It takes time to grow something, okay? Just because something doesn't instantly fulfill you doesn't mean it's time to move on to the next project. Stay in the game, stay consistent. I've done more than 350 45-minute podcasts, and I really didn't feel like I was starting to get the hang of podcasting around episode 250. All of my blog posts really sucked when I first started writing, but with time, I've gotten better and really enjoy both podcasting and writing now, and I'm still improving. You think everything has to be perfect. Take imperfect action, baby. Just make your content the best you can with the resources and time you have available, okay? You often underestimate the quality of your content, trust me. When the iPhone first came out, how awesome was it? It was definitely not as cool as it was now, but it was good enough to take over the smartphone market. And every year they release a newer and better iPhone. That's how your products are. You launch and then optimize every year like a real business does. Got it? Who's going to listen to me? Kind of a question that people ask. Not everyone actually will listen to you, but enough will that you can get in the game and get started. When you're first starting out, your goal is really just to get 10 fans. And then I want you to get 100, and then 1,000, and then 10,000 and beyond. I started with 10 fans. Okay, 10 fans. And that included my mom, my dad, my brother, and his little Yorkie dog, and named Maggie. So I really just needed 6. Can you get 6 people to follow you? Because that's really where I started, and I think that's where you can start too. So enough excuses, it's time to do. If you've gotten this far, I know it's because there's something deep inside you begging for a life of significance that you don't want to give up on. Year after year, most of us struggle to earn what we deserve, pay our bills, and put together a life we're proud of. We try to keep our relationships together by drawing on our experience and wisdom, but most of the time that just doesn't seem like enough. We want to make everyone happy, but in the end, we've become weak. We've pretty much given up on the idea of a powerful, influential life that helps people. I get it. I lived that life and I hated it. I tried to pretend like I was happy, but I ended up standing in front of an ATM and I was flat broke and wondering what the hell was I doing with my life? And that's when I decided to change. I took action. I helped others. I got started. Now I've got a 6-figure coaching business, but more than that, I feel like I'm living the life that I was born to live. I broke through. And it's time for you to do the same and make the massive impact and income that you were meant to make. You've got all the tools that you need to create content, build a following, and bring freedom to others. Those excuses in your mind don't deserve your time and energy. They deserve your fucking middle finger. Forget what people say about you. Forget what they think about you. Take responsibility for your life and take massive action. Steve Jobs said it best. Life can be much broader when you discover one simple fact. Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. Once you learn that, your life will never be the same again. Right now, in this moment, you need to have an honest conversation with yourself and decide if you're going to make a full commitment to building this baby, this dream, this coaching business. All right, but remember, in the end, this really isn't about you. You have a gift. You have a message and a purpose that the world needs to hear. There are thousands of men and women in the world right now who need you to get out of your own way and crush your own bullshit excuses so that you can help them. You must be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Give it everything that you've got and show the world who you are because the world needs you. You're not alone on this journey. Okay? If you want to learn a little bit more about my private elite community of influencers making a massive impact and income, where I'm leading the charge, you can learn about my private elite community of influencers where we're all making a massive impact and income doing what we love in this world. And so that's my article. If you found this impactful, if you think this was something that could help other people, then share it. Share it with the social sharing tools that you see, or just put it, grab the link, grab the URL, share it online. If you want to read the blog post and review it, because it's a guide, just go to the description and you can click the link inside there and read the blog post. Thank you guys so much for your time. I want you guys to go out there, build a successful business, crush life, and have a great year. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.